Yo, what it do, family? I value basketball. Back once again, man. Best basketball commentary on this side of the planet. We've already exhausted this whole Noah Lyles situation. And I just gotta say, this is one of the most weirdest, most unnecessary points of argument that has ever emerged in sports commentary, at least especially in the last few years. This whole situation is just weird. Ain't nobody picking up just the weird vibes of it. Has anyone actually watched the actual interview? Because everybody, of course, is going up against the headline. But if you actually watch the interview, the whole situation is just weird. Because my whole point is, bro, why are you coming for the NBA of all places? Why was that your sport of choice? And then on top of it, that being your sport of choice, do you realize that is the worst sport for you to pick of all of the American sports? Because that is, behind hockey, the most internationally played sport on the planet, both with other countries playing it, as well as Olympic participation, and as well as in the NBA, the most foreign players, as well as having basically the best players in the NBA being foreign in the past decade or so. I'm really confused why he would go in that direction. That's the point that gets me. And then just the weird, very corny, arrogant energy that he had to go along with it. It's like, what are we doing? I've always talked about athletes, especially at the professional level. I understand what it takes, to a certain degree, what it takes to become a professional athlete. Your level of dedication and focus and tunnel vision, it definitely has to be on a all-time high to make it to the professional level. But I'm not gonna lie, the amount of times that I've been around professional players or players who basically make their sport their lives, it's the same thing that I keep saying. Dudes be weird. They just do. They really be some very odd individuals. They don't have real personalities. They don't have real high functioning brains like that. And because of their tunnel vision, they don't really know how the world works. And I'm just saying this with this Noah Lyles guy, to be honest. That's where I'm going with this, because everybody's already talked up and down about whether he's correct or not. Because logistically speaking, of course he's correct. No, anybody with common sense would say that. But why would you say that against the one sport where actually you have the most frail argument against it? It's literally just a logistical or a namesake kind of issue, because in actual practice, it is a world champion league. I mean, we're talking about how with the NBA, the best players from the world, if they are good enough, they get drafted into the NBA and come play in the NBA. He says this while FIBA is going on, while the USA has essentially their B team of young stars who are basically running ramshot darn near over all of the global teams. One of the few times I actually agree with Gilbert Arenas, which he just had displayed on Gil's Arena. He was saying who was going to beat the Denver Nuggets in the world, globally speaking, versus the world. A team that's also led by a foreign player. So it's what are we talking about, Mr. Lyles? Why would you come for this league? Why did you not say that about the NFL, which actually where it really applies, because outside of America, no one plays it except for Canada. Nowhere in the globe is it really played, at least on some efficient professional level. That is purely an American creation. Or how about baseball? Of course, it is played internationally now, but they do call it the World series, the World Series. And most of its players are American and from the Caribbean. The vast majority of the players are just from the Western Hemisphere. So whatever weird type of hard-on you got for the NBA, I would really just like that to be examined. I would really like a follow-up question for that, because, bro, what are we doing? This is definitely good for content creation. It's definitely good for, I guess, barbershop arguments. And it's definitely good for the dog whistle conservative crew, because boy, if you go on Twitter, they ate this up. Oh my gosh, they ate this up. This was big time revenge for the bubble. Ever since they put that Black Lives Matter on the court, boy, that crew has been upset with the NBA. So they hopped on this right here and just ran that thing all the way into the ground. That's why we're talking about it so much now. That's why it spread like wildfire, because a certain group of people, they finally like, oh, we found us a black guy who agrees with us. Oh yeah, I'm going there, because that's exactly what it is. But beyond this craziness, we got to keep it a buck. Regardless of a proper title or not, if we're going to be so logistically astute about it or not, the NBA is the world champion. They prove it with the best players being in the league, and they prove it by dominating in the Olympics virtually every time it comes around, since the LeBron's era. But yeah, I just, of course, had to throw my 2 cents in there. Everybody's saying the same thing, because we already know what it is. He's right, but he's also wrong. But buddy, why so emphatically so? Oh well, I value basketball. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace, peace, peace.